Yeah, I want to make a mention. You know what it is? There's so many topics that are relevant to the world's values. You know, like as a person, you want to be vigilant guard on what's right. That's your commission as a faithful person of the Word. As a faithful person of the Word, you want to be a vigilant guard on what goes on. This is why you get involved in things. Now, the church is drinking the blood of saints. It's an apostate church. Almost everybody these days is part of this order. Everybody now, because it's like the monist view of existence. Everything is nothing. It's the same. You're harmonizing. There's no values in that. It's a lie. It's not. That's not information. You get dumber for hearing that. That's the intoxication of the wine of Jezebel. It's the one is everything, one is all, and the censors are promoting that religion. They're very violent people. It's the religion of Jezebel. That's Baal worship. It's liars. It's Satan's spirit. Almost everybody is in on this mentality these days, and I can give you examples endlessly of these horrendous people. You know, it is nearly everybody all the time these days. But the actual biblical accounting of things, the God of the Bible, the seven spirits of God, the censors are never going to tell you this. They have the one Spirit of God. That's what the censors give you. Evil is good. That's the one Spirit of God. You need to harmonize and be in tune with the one Spirit of God. That's the censors' religion. That's nearly everybody all the time these days. That's what's the nonsense going on. And people might understand there's nonsense going on, but if you want to get a little more involved, there's going to be a lot of dogmas that they're holding on to that are really just shadows and corruptions themselves. But back to the biblical narrative, you talk about seven spirits, and I'm going to define it. You know, there's so many prophets that mention this in the biblical accounting. You can go from the book of Enoch, the book of Isaiah, the book of Ezekiel, the Revelation of John, the epistles of the New Testament, you know, Paul's words, all the major prophets, all of them. They're going to describe the seven spirits of God. That's what they go into. And it's not that monist view of one and all. That's the unintelligent thing to feel. That's the worldly numbness. That's the numbness of the world, brain deadness. When you're brain dead, you don't know everything, but they're kind of insistent that you do. And these are the violent people. But the seven spirits in the biblical accounting, it kind of goes. There's the four spirits, the carnal world's definite values. Okay, think about a natural world. That would be the four spirits of the natural world. But then it has three other spirits, and that's really the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And that's the supernatural aspect of the four spirits. So you have a total of seven, and this is where the divine God title comes from. It comes from this created world where these seven aspects of God are recognized. And the one spirit of the world, that's the Antichrist. That's how everybody's in union with the one spirit of the world, and they are haters of the rational human being, the truth teller. If you are a rational human being, you're going to have all these Edomite NPC creatures that are projecting the monist worldview. And they really are slandering the truth. And I can give you examples of what I experienced as a gardener. You know, it's a very strange phenomena. I like to bring it up. But just an example, the other day, there was a creature, and I was watching it. It took some hot hose water and started watering my garden with it. And someone had done that the week earlier. This was on a Sunday. She's on a Sunday. She picks up this hose that's baking in the sun for 3 hours. The sun came out at 9 o'clock. It was raining in the morning. So you don't need to be watering this with chlorinated water. That would not be a good thing. And we've already discussed this with all these garden Karens. They're doing all the things they said we weren't going to do. They only do those things. There's like 20 things that they just constantly are doing that's killing everything. And amongst them is not only watering it with the chlorinated water in the noon sun, that would be bad enough, but the hot hose water, chlorinated water, that goes from hot then to cold. because it runs for a while. It goes to cold. So I saw her doing it. I didn't even say anything because I didn't want to. I'm like, these people are vomit inducing. I'm sick all the time from their actions all the time, 24/7. There's hundreds of these, thousands of these people, even as far as to say millions of these people actively being foul people all the time. When I say millions, it's you entertain their presence on the internet. They read your comments and they come in here with this vulgar mindedness. And I want people to understand that recognizable alignment. They're acolytes for evil, and they even wear it on their sleeves. They love presenting themselves as these superior monist worldview, where they're just obnoxiously foul by every measurable standard. Okay? And somehow they still exist. How is that? The bureaucracy in a modern world is so empowering these filthy people that's why they exist. But yeah, I saw her doing it with the hose, and then someone else came in and spoke to her, and then she was telling this person, oh yeah, this garden's not being done right, it's wrong, and this person doesn't know what they're doing. Meanwhile, she's watering it with the hot hose water, killing, constantly destroying what's to be there. And believe, anything coming out of there that's going to be good, they're going to credit themselves for it. And if it fails, which they're every day they're working at making it fail, then they can go, see, he doesn't know what he's doing. Hundreds of gardens have gone through this. It's like, if the garden comes out to be fine anyway, they're going to be, that's mine, I did that, and they have nothing to do with it. Complete fabricated lie, and they get away with this. This is even like standing up for the truth is a criminal act to these people in these circles of people. Because you think about somebody. Another example was there was a garden that I had, and the garden Karen was taking credit. She said it's her garden, and another person said, no, that one's hers, and oh, that one's hers. And none of them were their gardens. It was my gardens, and they're just claiming it for their own somehow. They felt that was a good thing to do. But on one occasion, someone was filming me because someone had just ripped out a bunch of plants from it. And I was, a little upset because, that's what they do. I like to garden. They like me to be upset when my gardens are being destroyed. They enjoy that. This is what they do as a people. They do this. So the woman who was filming me, that's obviously probably the culprit right there. So I see her and I ask her, I say, hey, what are you filming? What's going on? And she's lying. She said she's not filming. Okay, and then we had a 25-minute conversation, okay? She told me she's a holy one of Israel. She's a dual citizen of Israel. Okay? In our 25-minute conversation, she gave me this information. That's because she's so holy. She's one of the holy ones of Israel. Okay? Who am I to question this liar, right? And she's openly presenting this as her story. And she was down in Haiti actually raising money for the children. This is like, 10 years ago, whatever it was. And she was saying she was down in Haiti raising money for the children for the Clinton Foundation as another holy work she was doing. Okay, and she's bragging about how holy she is. And meanwhile, I'm like, well, you're lying. You're a lying liar, and you probably are harassing my garden, and you're a total horrible person. Okay, so like a month goes by. I think it was like almost 2 months. I'm at work, and like 20 cops ambush me, and I'm being arrested because I was supposedly harassing this person. Okay? And I was already going to court like 3 days a week for years. I was like going through like 5 or 6 courts for all various evil things. They're making me go. It's lawfare is what it is. These are the satanic people, exactly like this lady. She's completely satanic. Okay? So, long story short, I had to just settle out of court because it was me continuing to go to court like all the time, every day. I'm not getting paid. They're all getting paid. I'm just being, thrown into poverty. Okay, so I know I had to go on probation and plea deal, and this is what I had to do. But even further, so they continue to harass my garden. I'm there going by, and there was like a bunch of girls walking by, and they saying something to me. I don't know what they're saying. And it was a setup because they just start screaming and they run away. And I'm just like, what? What are you saying? And they just screaming, run away. And next thing you know, I got my picture in the newspaper, and they're saying I was saying anti-Muslim slurs. It had nothing to do with reality. It's just a wrap-up smear of these satanic people. okay? Which is, the dual citizen charity worker. That's the one who cooked this up, okay? And so she has my picture in a newspaper, and it says I was attacking these Muslims with racial slurs. It was a complete fabricated story, but it gets thrown into the newspapers. These people are allowed to exist. There's no truth in what they're saying, and they're defending ritualized evil. They're wizards and warlocks. And if you know that, that's from Q. That's the same people. Wizards and warlocks. This is our esoteric secret society who is doing the violence on the earth in religious, divinity. They're kind of claiming they're religiously, just like this dual citizen was telling me, she's a holy charity worker. Is a completely satanic liar. This is the people who murdered the saints and the prophets. That's who it is in our modern day, being extolled as virtuous by the majority, the absolution everywhere. Almost everybody everywhere will hold this person in a high esteem and hold me in the most, violated position. Like, the scum of the earth, that's over here. I'm beneath the scum of the earth. And that's the absolution of people. That's almost all the people all of the time, regardless of who it is. You can't even, reasonably find somebody to be an exception to that case. And that's the modern state of our world today. So you look at, what kind of flood are we looking at? Put those metrics in the equation, and then you'll look at and you'll understand the position where the modern day is, whom the people are, and see how religiously profane they are. This is everywhere. This is the days that we have.